I'm Micah with BC Shaver Hobbies, and these are the Arrma Infraction and the Arrma Felony. Last year, Arrma released an RC vehicle unlike anything the hobby had seen before. It was a 1/7 scale brushless 4-wheel drive on-road car that was just as good at drifting as it was at setting speed records. It came with an unusual resto-mod style pickup truck body, and it was called the Infraction. This year, along with several mechanical upgrades, the Infraction has gained a sibling. It's called the Felony, and it's an even more extreme version of the same concept. Part of what makes these cars so unusual is their sheer size. This is a standard 1/10 scale RC car, and as you can see, it's absolutely dwarfed by the Felony and the Infraction. And a car this big needs power to match, which is why both of these have 2050 kV brushless motors and 150 amp ESCs capable of handling a 6S LiPo battery, or rather two 3S LiPos. That puts the total power output at 3.4 kilowatts, or around 4.5 actual horsepower, which is enough to get these cars to 80 miles an hour. Although they're nearly identical under the hood, these two cars are very different on the outside. The Infraction body is loosely based on a modified 1960s pickup truck, but it's not licensed with any specific manufacturer. The low stance and aerodynamic mods give it a strong resemblance to Ken Block's drift truck. The original Infraction was available only in a matte bronze paint scheme, but this new one is also available in dark blue or silver. Both versions of the new one have this stylized American flag design. All of them have the original Arrma Motorworks decal on the door and various other bits of decoration all over the body. The windows, unfortunately, are just stickers. It also has this sturdy plastic roll cage, which doesn't serve much purpose on the vehicle, but it makes a great carrying handle. It also has this clear Lexan wing. I'm not sure why they didn't paint the wing, and it looks a little odd to me, but it is certainly distinctive. Up front, it has an enormous plastic splitter to keep the front wheels on the ground at high speed. The Felony is based on a heavily modified 1960s muscle car. Like the Infraction, it's not a licensed replica of anything, but the overall look is very close to a 1969 Chevy Camaro. And like the Infraction, it looks a lot like a Ken Block drift car. There are several different hood scoops included, which can be easily swapped out. There's a cutout in the rear window that, like the Infraction's roll cage, can be used as a carrying handle. It has the same plastic front splitter as the Infraction as well, although it's a slightly different shape. There's also an optional Lexan wing and a little Easter egg hidden under the rear arrow. The Felony is available in two colors, this matte black and a bright metallic orange. The bodies of both cars are held on with standard body clips, although Arrma attaches a little rubber strap so that the clip never ventures too far from the body so you don't lose them. Under the hood, while these two cars are nearly identical, there are a few important differences. Both have the same metal chassis plate, the same motor and electronics, and the same basic drivetrain. They also both have these huge belted tires, which are rated for 80 miles an hour. The Infraction has a working handbrake, which uses a physical brake pad to clamp down on a disc and stop the truck. The Infraction's wheels are all the same diameter, while the Felony has larger wheels in the rear. Since it's 4-wheel drive, this presents a problem, which the Felony solves by using a slightly different gear ratio on the rear gearbox as opposed to the front. This makes up for the difference in tire size. Unfortunately, it also means that you can't use aftermarket wheels unless you change the gearing. These cars both retail for $950 Canadian a piece, and that doesn't include batteries, so you'll be spending a bit over $1,000 to actually get one running. Arrma is owned by Horizon Hobby, so these cars come with Spectrum DX3 radios and IC5 battery plugs. This also means they're compatible with the Spectrum Dashboard mobile app. If you install a Bluetooth module on the transmitter, you'll be able to use the app to see telemetry like speed, RPM, temperature, and battery voltage in real time. Alright, it's time to see how these drive. We tested them on a 4S LiPo rather than the full 6S, but that was still more than enough to get some serious speed. I tested the Felony first, with the throttle limiter set to 50%. Even with the limiter, it's extremely fast. It's also very heavy since most of the frame is metal. The car has a lot of momentum and can slide quite a long way even with the wheels locked up, so you have to plan ahead and keep stopping distance in mind like you would with a full-scale car. Unlike smaller RC cars, stopping on a dime is just not physically possible. Both cars are equipped with an electronic traction control system called AVC, which is adjustable using a knob on the transmitter. Without it, I found the car to be very difficult to control, but the AVC makes a world of difference.
and while it still takes skill to drive, the system makes it a lot more controllable. Even with AVC on, though, you have to respect the machine. It's a powerful beast, and it can get out of hand very quickly. Despite my little accident, I decided to turn up the power to 100%.
It didn't even get to full RPM.
I then switched to the Infraction. The handling is almost identical to the Felony, although it seems slightly more tail-happy because of the narrower rear tires. The biggest difference is the handbrake, which allows you to swing the tail around much more easily in a tight space.
Yeah, there's some tire marks.
Since they're so powerful and heavy, the Felony and Infraction burn through tires extremely fast. The tires get very warm to the touch when driving, and after running just 2 battery packs through them, they had very little tread left. If you buy one of these, be prepared to replace the tires regularly.
Definitely saw smoke on that one.
In the end, we had a lot of fun with the Infraction and the Felony. They're not easy cars to drive, but they're a thrill ride like nothing else in the RC hobby, and it's incredibly satisfying to pull off the perfect drift or set a new speed record. With great horsepower comes great responsibility, so drive safely.
Well, folks, that about wraps up our review of the Arrma Felony and the Arrma Infraction. These are absolutely insane cars, and while they're not for the faint of heart or the faint of wallet, they're an incredible feat of engineering and an absolute blast to drive. To get your Felony or Infraction, or any other hobby products, you can visit us at BC Shaver and Hobbies, or online at bcshaver.com. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Michael, and I will see you next time.